there's some shit going on that I can't really get into specifics about. I'm walking when it's raining. I gotta get my laps in. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Lost a couple of subscribers, some family drama going on, raining, it's kind of cold, but I'm out here walking, I'm doing it one step in front of the other, one heavy step in front of the other. I normally don't stream my walk before work and all that, but I felt like I needed to get some things off my chest. Anyone feel similar? Got drama going on, talking to zero viewers. Sometimes I wonder why I even do this. You know, I like to be a man of consistency. I try to be a man that does the right thing. I try to be stoic, if that, makes any sense. Slow to temper. Apparently, I have a reputation for being loud and yelling all the time. That's what the word on the street is. Uh, I mean, when you can simmer down the intensity of the yelling, there's some good stuff that's in there. You just got to be willing to, like, you know, titrate the yelling, and you're gonna find some good stuff. You know, as a result, chemistry, right? So yeah, it's coming down. I'm on one of 3 laps. I don't know if I'm gonna actually do the other 2 laps. I might just walk around the building for a while. But yeah, the way it is outside is the way it's matching up inside myself. We all handle problems and stuff differently. I'm not sure there's a right or a wrong. It's just what we do. You know, we just try to handle what we can with what we have where we're at. Right. I just know I'm the only one out here walking, doing the right thing, one step in front of the other. Of course, I don't want to do this. I don't want to, but I have to. Sometimes I do it for those who can't. Those who are in like hospital bed or terminal illnesses or whatever. Hopefully, you're able to hear this type of stuff. I don't know if you are or not. Currently, we have 12 viewers in here, just kind of talking about stuff, life and love and sorrow, and it's a roller coaster. I don't even have my nice stuff to like chat. I don't have a wind screen. This is just live and unfiltered. But yeah, I just felt like I needed to like vent a little bit. If you find any of this to be helpful, do the thing. You know, I'm not gonna say like, subscribe, leave a comment. You don't have to. You just listen or not listen. It's up to you, right? Whatever you want to do. But I do find these walks to provide me some clarity. It humbles me. Is really what it is. I think the first part of enlightenment really is just to realize that the more you know, the more you don't know. There's so much to learn. It's impossible to learn it all, right? You got to be humble. You got to be kind. You got to be compassionate. You got to be able to listen. Don't let ego overrule everything. You know, that's just not a good thing for anyone. Just, and if they're like, well, I don't have an ego, and that's pretty much ego saying you don't have an ego, right? But yeah, I just this is just kind of where I'm at. in terms of like my mental health and that sort of thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and go silent for a second, and then I'll continue to talk. I'll do another lap. So it's just me walking and talking. But I'm just gonna walk. I'm not gonna talk. Okay. So radio silent for like 90 seconds. There he is. My coffee cup. All right, I'm gonna go silent here for a second. Yeah, let me know if you guys trade me. All right, who's up in here? Hey, how you doing? Run fast behind bear coming. Yeah, very funny, very funny. Said hi. Hey, how are you? I'm not answering chat. Apologize. Guys, trade me. This is my user. Yeah. Well, hopefully some of this resonates. Just trying to get stuff off my chest. And I was actually kind of talking to a friend of mine. And you're really lucky to have three friends in your life. Three friends that are that will stop everything that they're doing. Doesn't matter when you call late at night or in the morning. They'll help you out no matter what or where you're at. They'll do the best they can, and that's what a friend is, right? And you really know who your friends are when you go through some crazy stuff, right? We've all gone through it, or sometimes we haven't gone through it, but you do go through it. The important thing is you're just going through it, right? You're trying to get through the hell, trying to get to the other side, get through that darkness. I'm heading up the hill now, so um, I might get a little winded, but that's okay. I don't mind. I'm doing lap number 2. I don't think I'm going to be able to do a third just because of my time constraint. So I'll end the live stream after this lap. So, oh boy. But yeah, like I was saying, I was talking to a friend about some things that, well, I haven't really talked about anything that might like super, super important or like personal. And I'm not going to bring that up. Like, I'm not going to go in details, but I'm like, one of the things that's bothered me a little bit is, I mean, yeah, I haven't been consistent with my live streams. There are games that I've been streaming. Crimson Desert. And I tried Starfield and talking to a friend about Neo 3 still because he's just about to be done with his first playthrough. He doesn't stream, but we're able to have conversations about it at work and stuff, and that's pretty cool. Allows you to communicate with others. But I told you I'd be winded, right? Uh, so yeah, I just kind of like I don't trust drivers. I go around them if I can. Oh boy. Uh, so yeah, this isn't edited or anything, so um, no music or anything playing. Just a guy talking, doing his laps. Humble. But yeah, I lost some subscribers. And it kind of bothers me at times. 'Cause I felt like I've lost in a way. But I'm a little over 70 subscribers, and I wasn't trying to get monetized or anything. It's just at the heart of it, it was a father trying to reach out to his kids and you know create something that he could be proud of. See, see their dad in a new way, you know, and that's important. Trying something new, being vulnerable. Most people always will talk about trying it. I'm going to do it, and then they just never do. I've done it, I've tried, and it's gone up and down with my viewers, and I'm probably going to be branching out a little bit more from the gaming space and get more into like life and philosophy and there's people that I follow that I highly respect and people that have turned me on to certain people uh, to kind of get my perspective on things, and where I am in this universe, crazy, chaotic universe. And, and I try to keep out the politics and the religion and all that stuff, right? I'm not trying to persuade or dissuade anyone from my channel, just, what's going through my head. And it's helpful to talk about, like when I'm fired up about something, like most people would never think to do something like this. But I feel like that's basically therapy, right? And I don't know, maybe some of these words resonate with you. Maybe you're going through something. Maybe you're not going through something. Maybe you're doing laundry or you're doing dishes, something that kind of sucks. But I feel like, but you know what I mean? You're trying to get a good laugh um and that could be helpful, right? So man, I'm running really close. I gotta walk faster because I can't be late. I'm doing that other lap. I got 2 or 3 laps in. That's good. I wasn't gonna do any laps, and it was raining super hard, and it could rain hard in any second. So, but yeah, but yeah, maybe these words find you. Maybe they don't. But yeah, it's just a guy who's just chatting, talking, sharing his pain, his struggle, and that's part of it. It's part of the cycle. So you know, it just kind of sucks right now. But I have something to walk for. I have some people to walk for. The kids. They say that dad's not fun. I lost being fun, and I've lost you know the idea that they want to hang out with me, and they kind of run away from. I don't know what's going on with the generations. I don't like when I to give you an example. Like if I went to someone's house and I wanted to play with the kids, and the dad or the mom answered, and I would have been like, hey, so and so here, I'd love to play with them or whatever, right? Can they come outside? And if they said no, then I would have been like, okay, sir, no problem. Um, and then I probably would have walked away because they're the parent, right? Right? Well, now what happens, and I won't mention specific names or genders or whatever, but they're like this idea of, well, that's not a good enough answer for me. And you tell that to an adult? Are you kidding me? What? That doesn't happen. You don't do that. When a parent says a certain like no, then that's it. The gate closes. The door closes, the gate shuts. It's just like where did the disrespect come from? Why is it so disrespectful? I mean, I'm still that way, where I'm like, yes sir, no sir, like yes ma'am, no ma'am, and and I don't know if it has to do with the parents. Really, it's not the parents. I don't think it's the parents at all. You know, I mean, we're trying to do the best we can, and we're trying to understand. Like my wife and I were, before the internet thing like really took off, and we got a good solid uh, perspective on like being a child before the internet, and now the internet's there, and it's like it's scary. It's wild, and the best we can do is prepare the kids, like because they're going to use it. But they're going to use it as a tool, right? They're not going to always use it for bad or good. They're just going to use it, right? Like they don't, like the kids are young, they're under 10 years old, and they're just trying to figure out what they can and cannot, use and stuff. So that's kind of where we're at, and we're just trying to mitigate any of the problems, but we're trying to get through it together. I think that's what matters the most is no matter what happens, whatever problems may arise, it's always a better solution to attack it as a family, as a unit. Like when we're down, we're all down. When we're up, we're all up. When we're going through something, we're all going through something. So I think that's what's important here. I think that's the message, and I'm trying to tell my wife and myself and just be like, this is an experience that we're gonna get through together, and we is greater than me, and this is the way to prove it. Because we all want to talk about what a good team player is and what their idea of teamwork and this and that are, communication and all that. But this is this is a time to really just take it with each other and listen and learn and move forward, not necessarily move on, because that's really just kind of it's just too easy to say, because it's so objective, but we're very subjective. We're emotional. We're creatures. We're you know higher brain functioning and trying to understand where we are in this universe. So, but I think I'm on to something. I think realizing that when you know something, you know nothing, and I think that's a good start. I think that's kind of what Socrates used to teach back in the day, and these philosophers and stuff. So, anyway, thanks for listening. I'm gonna go ahead and end my stream here because I'm gonna have to clock in soon. Um, I hope some of this brought you some joy or some solace, some you know perspective. You know, follow, like, subscribe, follow. This isn't Twitter or this isn't Twitch, right? So subscribe or whatever if you want to, or not. It's up to you. Like it, dislike it, do whatever you want. But more's coming. You know, about to be 44 years old, and I'm a dad of two, and married, and just trying to figure my place out. So walking does help, like I told my wife, and man of my word. So anyway, guys, you take care. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Peace.